Well, Black and White Network, we are less than 3 months away from the 2024 presidential election. Now, everybody knows that President Trump is actually running for the Republicans and Kamala Harris will be the nominee for the Democrats. However, there are actually other candidates out there as well, namely RFK Jr. Now, when RFK Jr. was actually running in the Democratic primary, the establishment said, no, we don't want you running against Beijing Biden. Then what happened? After the Democrats decided to not have a real primary, RFK Jr. said, all right, cool, you want to do it that way? I'm dropping out of the Democratic primary. He is actually running as an independent. And his poll numbers were actually looking pretty good against Joe Biden, considering, that Joe Biden was actually the incumbent. At one point, man, RFK Jr. was actually getting something like 20% in the Democratic primary, where the Democrats were actively trying to keep him away off of ballots. Yeah. But now, guys, his poll numbers are not looking very good whatsoever. Now, folks, there was a lot of Democrats that just didn't want to vote for Joe Biden. They didn't. But now that Kamala Harris is the cool nominee, some of those people have actually abandoned RFK Jr. and went to Kamala Harris. I believe RFK Jr. now is something like 3% now in the polls, something like that. Yes. Democrats started coming home for Kamala Harris. Now, take the polls for what they are, guys, okay? I don't put a lot of faith in polls because the polls seem to always oversample Democrats. However, there's no doubt about it, guys, that she's actually getting more Democratic support now than Joe Biden. Just look at the fact that RFK Jr., his poll numbers have now went down because some of those Democrats actually started going home. But he still has like 3% of voters that are actually holding on to him. And those voters, folks, may actually end up voting for President Trump. All Trump really would need is the endorsement of RFK Jr., folks. And guess what? That may actually happen. This is a real thing. Let's get into it, guys. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel, become a channel member. Member live stream every single Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. If you're watching on Rumble, click the join button to get access to the same thing. And everyone can also support us by becoming a member on blackandwhitenetwork.com or supporting us on Locals, both for just $5 per month. Check the links in the description. So here we go, guys. Right here on CNN, RFK Jr. running mate Nicole Shanahan, says they're considering endorsing Trump. Now, one thing, folks, that RFK Jr. and President Trump actually have in common is that they are both very, very anti-establishment. Now, the establishment Republicans actually tried to get rid of Trump. They couldn't do it, man. They couldn't do it. The people wanted Trump. But the establishment Democrats told RFK Jr., no, you're not going to run in a primary against our pick. And they got him out of there. They forced him out. But Nicole Shanahan on a podcast did come out and say, yeah, we're probably going to drop out. We may drop out. And we're actually considering endorsing Trump because they do not want a Kamala Harris presidency. They don't. And this could also be revenge, RFK's Jr.'s revenge for what the Democrats actually did to him. Look here. It says here, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s running mate, Nicole Shanahan, said the Kennedy campaign is considering dropping out of the race and endorsing former President Donald Trump while framing the choice through her hope of reducing the risk of Kamala Harris becoming president. They don't want her to become president, guys, because she is just a figurehead for the establishment. In an interview with podcast host Tom Bilyeu, posted on Tuesday, Shanahan acknowledged the Kennedy campaign's recent conversations with the Trump campaign. So they have actively been talking to President Trump, which have centered on the possibility of Kennedy endorsing Trump in exchange for a role in Trump's administration should he win. And I can really, really see, guys, RFK Jr. getting a job in a Trump administration. I mean, RFK Jr. definitely could help with cleaning out the deep state. He definitely could, man. And we know that RFK Jr. does not like the deep state because look what happened to his family, man. I mean, deep state pretty much took out his uncle, President JFK, and his father, RFK Sr. They both died. So he could definitely help with cleaning out the deep state. And President Trump is really the reason why RFK Jr. now actually has Secret Service protection. Because after Trump's assassination attempt, Trump actively called for RFK Jr. to get Secret Service protection. And then it happened. Anyway, it goes on. It says, she framed the decision on whether to endorse Trump around its impact on Harris's chances of victory in November, arguing Kennedy pulls more votes from Trump than from Harris. So this is what she says, quote, there's two options that we're looking at. And one is staying in, forming that new party, but we run the risk of a Kamala Harris and Tim Walz presidency because we draw votes from Trump or we draw somehow more votes from Trump, she said. Or we walk away right now and join forces with Donald Trump. And I believe, that's the best option right there is to join forces with President Trump. Because I do believe, guys, that there's definitely some Democrats out there that feel like the Democratic Party really don't represent them. I mean, this is a Marxist party right now, guys. They're running on Marxist policies. And if you know anything about the Kennedys, man, JFK, man, was definitely anti-communist. He was not down with communism. Neither was his father either. They got taken out too. But we do have a clip here. Charlie Kirk actually put this out. Says, breaking, RFK Jr.'s VP Nicole Shanahan says their campaign is considering joining forces with Trump to prevent a Harris-Walz administration. RFK endorsing Trump is the natural move. They both are sworn enemies of the CIA, FBI, and the military machine. RFK can help a lot with FDA, CDC corruption. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. It doesn't matter if they disagree on some issues. They agree on the bit stuff, the civilizational defining issues. We must defeat Team Blue this November. So listen in to Nicole Shanahan right here.
There's two options that we're looking at. And one is staying in, forming that new party, but we run the risk of a Kamala Harris and Walz presidency because we draw votes from Trump, or we draw somehow more votes from Trump, or we walk away right now and join forces with Donald Trump and we walk away from that and we explain to our base why we're making this decision.
Yeah. So you heard that right there, man. This could be a real possibility. If RFK Jr. is actually going to do it, it's probably better to do it sooner rather than later. I know the DNC is going on right now, and I'm not saying he has to do it today, but I wouldn't be surprised, man, if Monday comes and RFK actually comes out and he's standing right next to President Trump and he's saying, we must vote for Donald Trump. We must dismantle the deep state. That would be huge, man. That would be really huge because really, guys, RFK Jr. really is a Democrat. He's even said it. He is a Kennedy Democrat. So that would be huge, man. That would be huge. Now, I think President Trump can actually win anyway because these polls, man, if you look at the polls, especially in these swing states, Kamala Harris is way behind where Joe Biden and Hillary was back in 2016 and 2020. Because I believe he's actually going to win those states right now based on the polls. They have Harris up by 2 in some of these states. And, they definitely oversample Democrats. So we have to see. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you next time.